all good? I hope so. The sun is shining. It's a little. I think this is possibly the first morning live where I've not had to put my lights on in the office, and it's actually like reasonably light in about 4 months, something like that, 3 or 4 months. Anyway, it's bright this morning. The sun is shining. It's flipping cold, but I'm not whinging because I've got an heater inside. It's all good, and I'd much rather have weather like this. It feels like I feel that today, when that sun comes up a little bit, there'll be a little bit of warmth in that sun. I think there's going to be a little smidge of warmth in that sun. Fingers crossed. Anyway, are we all good? If I didn't see you last night, how was your day yesterday? First day of the week, first weight loss day of the week. I talk about this all the time. Lay the foundations, nail the basics, the rest will fall into place. Did you nail the basics yesterday? It's always a big question. It's all you need to do is tick those boxes. Never try and make weight loss. I see so many people online that try and make weight loss way more complicated than it needs to be. And it is never, ever something I've done, even from the start of my journey. I think at the start of my journey, I probably made weight loss more complicated than it is now because I'm, as it is now, because I've learned so much over the last 12 years. But when I look back, I've always tried to simplify things. Kevin on YouTube, I was just reading his comment there. Morning, boss. Tried jammy biscuit protein powder in porridge this morning. Must have made it wrong. It went very strange. Fruit in porridge wasn't great either. Epic fail. Right. Here's how you make protein porridge. Right. And there is a certain process to follow to make it decent. Right. First of all, make your porridge. Right. And so don't add the protein powder. Right. Do not cook the protein powder. No. Right. Oats, water, pinch of salt. That's it to make your porridge. You don't need to use milk. Why? Because there's milk in your protein powder. All right. So that'll make it creamy once it's cooked. And you need to make your porridge a lot runnier than you would do normally because your protein powder will thicken it up. Depends on how you like your porridge. If you want it like absolute cement, make it a little bit less runny. But this is my rule of thumb. 50 grams of oats, 300 ml of water, little pinch of salt. Right? Microwave. 2 minutes, give it a stir. 1 minute, give it a stir. All on high. 30 seconds, give it a stir until you get to the consistency that you want. Right? Take it out of the microwave. Now you add your protein powder in. All right? Whack that in and just give it a good stir through. That's it. That is your porridge done. Fruit on top. Porridge for me, always fresh fruit. don't get me wrong. You could microwave, I wouldn't put frozen fruit in because it'll make your porridge instantly cold, and I like hot porridge. That is the reason why we have porridge. If you're going to use frozen fruit in porridge, which is fine, I'd nuke it until it's warm. I'd nuke it till it's warm, and I would drain off the juice, and then I'd mix the fruit into the porridge. And that's it. Drizzle of honey, and you're good to go. Kevin, how did you make your porridge? Did you follow those steps? A lot of people will kind of like make a protein shake and then mix oats in with it and stuff like that. I just wouldn't. I'm not saying that's the worst way to do it, but it doesn't make a very good protein porridge, if I'm being honest with you. It's all that process. I've had so many people messaging me going, does it really make a difference? Like when you do your protein whey whips, protein water, and then putting the yogurt in afterwards. And I'm literally responding like, well, make it your way, make it my way, and then tell me. And I've not had one comment yet going, it's better just doing it, just yogurt and protein powder. Right now, if I do yogurt, protein powder, like a yogurt bowl, I'm literally putting in yogurt, protein powder, fruit, chia seeds, I just whack it all in. I'll whack it all in and mix it up. But what I'm doing, and it's just about making it different. I cook the powder. Never cook the powder. Never cook the powder. You can cook protein powder in certain things. So if I'm doing like a baked protein flapjack or something like that, But in protein porridge, don't cook the powder. Don't do that. Don't do that. Make your porridge and just use water, right? Oats, water, pinch of salt, proper Scotch porridge, that, right? And then, but make it so it's a little bit looser than you'd normally have it. Then put your protein powder in. And especially if you're using, like, sometimes with protein porridge, I normally have a 50, what's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I'm doing 50 grams of oats, I'd use 25 grams of protein powder. If you're using the sachets, that's 30 grams of protein powder. So don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just going to give you a bit more protein. But again, if you're doing sort of like 40 grams of oats, bit of water, and 30 grams of protein, you're going to have a lot of protein powder to oats, and your ratios might be off. All right. So, but that's how I make my protein porridge. Yeah. And it's really, really good. I might try protein porridge. Always put in yogurt bowl. Yeah, and it's just about mixing it up. Again, I had a comment. I'm going to do a little post on this actually this morning. I had a comment the other day saying, "Do you not get bored of eating yogurt bowls?" And I said no, and I'll tell you why. A couple of reasons. Number one, they might look the same when I post them on social media, but I make them different all the time. Like this morning's yogurt bowl. So I'll use different fruits, different ratios of fruits. I'll do different, I use different flavored protein powders. The only thing that is ever very consistent in my yogurt bowls is 0% fat Greek yogurt, right? So this morning I've used, so I had a yogurt bowl last night, and it was literally 150 grams of strawberries, 150 grams of 0% fat Greek yogurt, 30 grams of strawberry cream protein powder, and a bit of granola. So it was like a strawberry themed one. My yogurt bowl this morning is 50 grams of strawberries, 100 grams of summer fruit mix frozen, which I'm not a massive fan of. I don't really like the grapes in it, but I bought it the other day just for a change. And 100 grams of cherries. Instead of using strawberry cream protein powder, I've used cookie dough protein powder, right? And same granola on top, but sometimes I'll use I'm using today the Surreal chocolate hazelnut granola. Sometimes I'll use the chocolate protein granola from Aldi. Sometimes I'll use the mixed berry protein granola from Aldi. Sometimes I'll use crunchy nut granola. I've got about 8 different bags of granola in the cupboard, so I'm all constantly mixing it up, right? So they might all look very, very similar, but they're all different. You know, I've got about 20 different flavors of protein powder. I have loads of different, ratios of fruit. I've also done little themed ones in the past, like I did a pina colada one where I actually used tinned pineapple, 0% fat Greek yogurt. Don't use fresh pineapple and yogurt. There's something in the fresh pineapple, which tinned pineapple's heat treated, and I can't remember what it is, but if you mix fresh pineapple with yogurt and eat it straight away, you'll be all right. If you mix fresh pineapple with yogurt and leave it an hour or two, it turns the yogurt, it curdles it and makes it go very, very bitter, right? But yeah, it's just about mixing it up all the time. Right, let's do a top 5 on TikTok. Remember, guys, this is a weight loss live. If you've got any weight loss questions, please get them in. Lou's in at number 1, Stevie's in at number 2, Kelly C's in at number 3. Becky's in at number 4, and Neil is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much for jumping straight to live in my top 5 this morning. Anna's in, Lita, Sheila, Jackie, Mr. John Jackson, Steph, Kelly. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Peter, Tina, good morning. Mummy Bear's in. Hi. It's Pancake Day today, isn't it? I'm not doing Pancake Day today. We're doing Pancake Day tomorrow when my mum comes round for a tea. Regan's in. Good morning. So Sunday day, looking forward to our crepes, creams. Yog bowl first. Enjoy, Becky. Stefan's in. Good morning. Anas, good morning, mate. Yasmin, getting ready for work. Prepped my food too. Lovely, Stevie. Angela, good morning, boss. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Stirring the powder went off the hob. Nah, don't use a hob. No one's got time for that. Use a microwave to make your porridge. You can use a hob, of course. Right, let me scan up. By the way, there is a recipe for my protein porridge on YouTube if you want to go and take a look. Yeah. I'm scanning up, seeing if I've missed anything. I'm just trying to catch up. I don't think I have. Julie's in. Good morning. Janet, how much granola, please? However much fits your calorie allowance. There's no right or wrong answer. Loads of people always ask me, what granola do you use? Whatever I like. Like literally, the only time I don't eat bowls and bowls of granola. I literally have between 20 and 30 grams. That's for my calorie allowance, sprinkled on top of my yogurt bowl. And Rachel has a yogurt bowl, it's 15 grams because she has less calories than me. Right? So it's all down, if you're someone that absolutely loves granola, you might have 40 grams. If it fits in your calories, you can have as much as you want. But because I literally only have a sprinkle of granola on my yogurt bowl, it doesn't make a difference what granola I use. So we're like, oh, what one's got loads of sugar? I'm like, I quite like sugar in granola. It sweetens it up. But I'm not scared of sugar. So many people are scared. Oh my god, it's got sugar in it. Oh my god, it's got sugar in it. It's sugar. Like we've been eating it for hundreds of years, and it's never caused us any issues in the past. Right? Why does it cause us issues today? Because we overconsume it. Just enjoy your sugar. Just don't overconsume it. It really is that simple, right? So if you want to eat products that have got sugar in, eat products that have got sugar in. Just don't, in your overall diet, overconsume sugar. RDA sugar is 90 grams a day, and they recommend a split of 45 grams natural sugars, 45 grams of free sugars. It's just a guide. I don't really give a toss. I just eat sugar, but I don't overeat it, right? So I don't care if I have 90 grams of added sugar a day. At the end of the day, added sugar is still natural sugar. It's just processed from sugarcane rather than stuff that's naturally in a product anyway. But you shouldn't be scared of any food. You shouldn't be scared of eating anything. And this is the thing, when a lot of people comment on social media, oh, it's full of this, oh, it's full of that. You're scared of eating something. Why? That's a food phobia. That's disordered eating, right? Should never have this. You should have a full understanding of how nutrition works. And then don't get me wrong, I understand why people don't. But, there's some very simple rules to understand about eating food, right? The only thing that's bad for us is overconsumption. Dead simple. The only thing that is bad for us is overconsumption. Our health isn't determined solely by our food intake, right? Eating something in moderation doesn't make you healthy. Eating something in moderation doesn't make you unhealthy, right? So just like if your diet is just junk food all the time, so high in saturated fats, high in trans fats, low in protein, low in fiber, right? Low in volume, so you overconsume it, and you have a bit of broccoli. So every time you have a pizza, I have 100 grams of broccoli on the side. Every time I have a pie, right, I have 100 grams of broccoli on the side. Don't get me wrong, that's better than not having it, but having, a couple of kilos of broccoli a week alongside a diet that's full of trans and saturated fats and lots of sugars, it isn't going to make you healthy, I'm afraid. Likewise, having an overall diet that's healthy and nutritious and having the odd pie, having the odd pizza, having the odd piece of cake isn't going to make you unhealthy. Right. So there are some very simple rules to follow. Louise Sturdy, good morning. Good morning on Facebook. Hope you are well. So there's no rights or wrong answers to certain things. But yeah, in terms of granola, like, look, if you enjoy a bowl of granola, by all means, I love a full bowl of granola. I would love to, but I don't eat it. It's something I never eat. Why? Because you get very little volume for your calories. And sometimes it's a mind trick thing. Even if you have 100 grams of granola, it looks like nothing. Whereas I like my sugary cereal. I don't really eat it that often anymore. I used to have it every Sunday morning, a bowl of Crunchy Nut cornflakes, a bowl of Frosties or something like that. But yeah, I don't really eat sugary cereal that much anymore. And it's not because I don't want to eat. I don't know. It's just I go through phases sometimes with things. But if I'm going to have a sugary cereal, I will have Frosties or Crunchy Nut cornflakes. Why? Because it feels like you get a lot. So I'll have 100 grams, like 400 calories with milk on 500 calorie bowl. I normally have 400 to 500 calories for my breakfast anyway, right? And it feels like you actually get a lot. Whereas with granola, you don't get it. I only ever sprinkle a bit of granola, so it doesn't really matter what granola you have, to be honest with you. Made something new last night. Mayflower black bean stir fry sauce. Didn't really like it. I'm not a big fan of black bean sauce myself. It's never something I order from the Chinese. I didn't really like it, but ate it because that's what I planned. Was left feeling very disappointed as a result. Wanted to eat something else. I'm going to be sticking to the foods I know and love from now on. Yeah, I think it's one of them. And it is, calories are precious. And this is why I do the worth of calories videos. They are precious. And, when you're trying to stick to a calorie deficit, you're obviously trying to rein it in a little bit, right? Now, I only give healthy, sustainable calorie allowances. So, and it is one of them. It's like, where do you, if you make something and you don't like it, it's a learning curve. So you don't need to make it again. But if it leaves you a little bit disappointed, yeah, I get it. And it's not like, oh, well, I'll just go and make something else. What would I do in that scenario? I'd probably do what Kevin's done. I'd just eat it, right? I'm a bit like that, and I just wouldn't have it again. And I just cross it off, right? Tried something new. Don't need to have that again. Yes, you might feel like eating something else, but if you haven't done, you've done well just to go, nope, I've had my tea. That's it. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, and it's just your meal. What I would actually do, though, is you might have planned your eating, and you should always plan foods that you really enjoy eating. But what I would definitely do today is make sure you eat things that you really enjoy to banish those memories. Right? That would be my recommendation. I just signed up for a level 2 nutrition course through work. Regan, absolutely brilliant. So I did my level 2. I've done my level 3 nutrition. I've done my level 4. I've just never sat the exams. I did it online. I've done all the coursework. Everything's been signed off. I think I literally have till next. I think you've got 3 years to take the final exams, and I need to do it. Really, I don't need to do it. I don't want to waste the time and effort that I've put in. So yeah, level 4 in weight in nutrition, diet, and exercise with weight management as a speciality, sort of thing. I got the Cantonese Satay one tonight. Looking forward to it. Let's hope it's better. I would be if you're working from home, Kevin, I would be experimenting with these things for my lunch. That's what I tend to do with food. I experiment with lunch. Why do I experiment with lunch? Because I know I've got something like when I do a lot of recipes, I have them for my lunch. Like last week, I did the creamy peri-peri chicken V2, as I call it. So I use mince, I use passata, soft cheese again, and peri-peri seasoning. It was absolutely amazing. Yesterday, well, I made it over the weekend, but slightly differently. I didn't add the rice to it over the weekend. But over the weekend, I made creamy barbecue pork because a few people asked last week what seasonings could they use instead of peri-peri because they don't like spice. I thought, you know what? There's all these seasoning pouches in Aldi. Like what can we how can we use these here? And barbecue and peri-peri with like the creaminess of it just works. So I was looking yesterday, there's like a salt and pepper seasoning, and I'm like, how can I use that to make make like a one prep meal prep dish? I'm thinking like salt and pepper with passata and light cream cheese. I don't think it'd quite work. It might do. When I say salt and pepper, I'm talking about Chinese seasonings, not like Susie salt and Percy pepper. Anyway, yeah, when I trialing recipes, I tend to have them for my lunch because then I know if they're not very good, I'll probably be having a mid-afternoon yogurt bowl and then I'm having my tea, which I always enjoy. So maybe something to maybe flip the experimentation around, because if that's the last thing you're going to eat at night time and then you're not eating again for 10, 12 hours, yeah, it might be a bit like, I don't know. I do like satay though. I'm not a big, Mayflower stuff's pretty decent. I'm just not a big fan of black bean sauce anyway. Yeah, it's not, but satay, I like satay because it's peanut. I got the Cantonese satay. Cantonese satay. I reckon that'll probably be better. I reckon. I'm hoping it is for you, Kevin. I honestly am. Making the most of half term. Train on the morning rather than afternoon is so much better. Yeah, I love training in the morning. Like today, I teach my evening spin class. And don't get me wrong, I'll do my spin class, I'll box it off. But would I much rather be teaching spin now? Like Saturdays, I teach at 9:15 in the morning. 100% I would. 100% I would. I'd much rather train. Someone said, would you rather go at 6:30 at night or 6:30 in the morning to the gym? 6:30 in the morning. Much rather train in the morning. And in summer, we will go. I've noticed this last week or two, the mornings are getting much lighter a lot earlier. And when they're like that, we actually I enjoy going to the gym a bit earlier. I really, really do. And it's easy, I do. And Rachel's the same. She very much like she'll take a gym bag to work, and we always hit the gym Friday, Saturday anyway. So Rachel always gets to go, and then she always goes Tuesday nights because I do my spin. So Rachel always goes 3 times a week to the gym, which is more than enough to get fit and healthy. Which is why we go to the gym. But in summer, we'll do a few more mornings. It's a lot easier getting up and getting out when it's. I'm not even asked about it being light in the morning. If I'm being honest with you, it's cold. It is the cold when it's in summer, and it's sort of like, even if it's just 10, 11 degrees, and you can just go out in a hoodie and you're not freezing your tits off. It's so much nicer. It really, really is. J24, morning, mate. Good morning, J24. Let me scan back down. Got myself back on track yesterday. Food shop done this morning. All meals planned. Lovely Regan. And Regan messaged me yesterday just for a bit of accountability. She just had a little bit of a blowout for a few days. So have I. It happens. It happens every now and then. The important thing is you draw a line and get back to it, which is exactly what she has done. Regan's one of my one-to-one clients, and she's having a really good journey. What are the plans today for me? So I've just said I'm spinning later on. So I'm coming off this live at 9:30. I've got a big yogurt bowl prepped, ready to go. Cherries, cookie dough, perform. Gonna granola it. And I've got a bit of a sweet tooth this morning, so I might put a bit of extra honey on there as well. All tracked, all accounted for. Lunch today, we have got 3 calorie control meals from Tesco that I'm reviewing for Worth the Calories. So I'm doing those today. Whether I'm going to eat them for lunch or not, I hate wasting food, but I've sort of come to realize, look, if you're going to do this content, you're buying the food for the content. So I'm going to try them. Whether I have them for my lunch or not, I don't know, because I've got that creamy barbecue pork, rice and beans that I had yesterday. And it was just delicious, and it's full of nutrition. It's full of goodness. I know I really like it. So I might just have a couple of mouthfuls of each of the ready meals. And like I say, I don't like wasting food, but at the end of the day, it's part and parcel of doing a bit of the content that I do. But if I eat one and I'm like, that is amazing, I might just eat it. I might just finish it off. I haven't 100% decided yet. This afternoon, challenge. The Boss You Weight Loss Challenge starts 2 weeks on Monday. So it's going to come round pretty quick. So everyone that's signed up so far, I'm going to book you all in, set your templates up, not set your challenge up. I'm not doing that until a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, getting everything set up for that. And then tomorrow, in the community, I've got a Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge Q&A live. So I've written down quite a lot of questions that I've had. Quite a lot of questions that I've had regarding the challenge. So I've got all those written down. I'm going to answer them tomorrow, but then you can come on the live and ask any further questions. So yeah, it's starting on the 9th of March. It'll run till June. It's just an extra kick up the bum for anyone that takes part in the challenge. For anyone that takes part in the challenge, just an extra kick up the bum for your weight loss. And one of you will win 500 quid. I've had quite a few people message me saying they're going to sign up to the challenge. Is there a cut-off date? I will answer that tomorrow. But I will be writing, not next week, the week after. So I'm going to be writing up everyone sign up. Thinking of joining the challenge, get signed up. £50 to join it. It's £50 to join the challenge. You can pay a deposit. It's 25 quid to join. 16 of you guys have signed up so far. I've had a few people message me, oh, I've got a bit of FOMO because I don't think I'm going to do the challenge. And I'm just like I've got 150 clients on one-to-one that could all enter the challenge, and they'll end up with about 30. So there's only 20% of my actual clients that do the challenge. So don't feel like you have to do it. But if you feel like a bit of a push, and it is all the target, again, I'll answer this tomorrow. All the targets of the challenge are relative to you. It doesn't matter where you are on your journey, what your current weight is, what your current steps are. I will never ask you to do anything on the challenge that I know you can't physically do, right? So no one needs to, some people are like, oh, I can't do 20,000 steps a day. Good, because you're not going to be asked to do 20,000 steps a day. Don't you worry about that, So it's an afternoon of doing, well, I've got all the progress sheets to get out first. They're all set up. I just need to put email addresses in and ping them over to you. That's going to be first job of the day. And then, this afternoon is going to be editing the weekly weight loss or weekly weight loss-ish vlog. And getting that out on YouTube. Did a new shopping haul vlog yesterday. It was a Tesco Aldi crossover. If you've not gone and checked that out, please go check it out. It'd be much appreciated. Going to join the challenge, but need to buy a new fitness watch first. Mine isn't recording steps. Yeah, that's so. Again, I will be answering this tomorrow. What equipment do you need? Set of scales. You do need a fitness tracker. All right. Technically, you can just screenshot steps that are recorded on your phone if you want to, but I would recommend getting a fitness tracker. If you don't have one, you don't need to go and spend thousands and thousands or hundreds of pounds on a Garmin or an Apple or a Samsung watch. You can literally buy, if you wanted to, just a pedometer off. Have a good day, got to dash. Cheers, Louise. You can just buy a pedometer off Amazon, like 20 quid, that'll connect to an app, and you can just screenshot it and send it over. Or Facebook Marketplace. I'm telling you now, there's more Fitbits in people's drawers, in their bedside table drawers, than there are on people's watches. So I guarantee, even if you just go on your personal Facebook and say, "Hey, anyone got a Fitbit they want to sell?" Someone will pipe up, "Yeah, I've got a Versa 2 or a Versa 3 or whatever." So if you don't want to invest loads, you probably get one for a few quid. But you do need set of scales, which you'll have anyway, fitness tracker, and you need a calorie counting app. Right, that's it, which all my clients should generally have anyway. And then we can get you involved in the challenge. Faye, good morning. Hope you are super duper and well. Let me scan up and see if I've missed anything else. I'm getting nails doing a great X. I'm going to walk it, get my steps in. Lovely, Julia. Nice little about 2.5 miles. Great, I come back from us. 2.5 miles. 1,000 steps is about 9 minutes of walking. It's about 9 minutes of walking for most people that walk. Some people, if you walk a bit quicker, it'll be a bit shorter. Obviously, if you walk a bit slower, it'll be. But for most people, it's about 9 minutes of walking. So if you did an hour walk, you're going to get 7,000 steps in. Now, a lot of you might be like, "Whoa, God, I've got to do an hour walk every day just to get 7,000 steps in." Well, yeah, 10,000. But you don't need to do it in one solid walk. 10,000 steps is about 90 minutes of movement, and everything counts. Walking around your house counts. Walking around Aldi counts. Walking, around your office counts. Yeah, and most people do, just if they don't do any specific walking, most people do at least 3,000 steps a day, right? So, for some of you guys to get your steps in, it might be a case of doing 2 30-minute walks a day on top of your normal everyday movement. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that much time to dedicate, especially for what you get out of it. Mental health, physical health, weight loss. Like, it all has these massive bonuses. It's not a waste of time, and you should, and whether you're trying to lose weight or not, you should be moving more. It's one of the reasons why we have a weight issue. We are getting lazier and lazier and lazier as a society. Loads of people love to revert back to, it's amazing how many people are like, we should eat the way we did 90 years ago, 100 years ago. Right, well, 90, 100 years ago, we ate loads of sugar, right? Why are you demonizing it now, right? it's like, honestly, it's what's the word? People just pick at what they want to promote. Does that make sense? What's the word? It's like I say, right. So eat like they did 100 years ago, where there was loads of different sweet companies and sweets were cheap. They were. Don't get me wrong. You obviously still had luxury chocolates, but a lot of sweets were cheap, and we didn't have all these posh desserts that we have nowadays and ice creams and stuff. Sweets were a go-to, and we used to eat loads of sugar 100 years ago, whereas now it's an issue. But eating the way we did 100 years ago, like just meat and veg, that's good. Right? Well, if you're going to eat like you did 100 years, again, people are like, we're carnivores, we're meant to eat meat and eggs. Do you know, like early man used to eat moss, they used to eat bark off trees. Like, if you're a carnivore diet, why aren't you doing that? We're not carnivores at all, right? Yes, we are. We have these things here. The things like cats and dogs to bite and tear stuff, but that was to bite and tear not only meat, but like I say, bark off trees and mosses and grasses. We've always eaten veggies, right, throughout time, but people just pick and choose, don't they? What suits their own narrative, as it were. So there we go. I've got a couple of things. Is that normal to not lose anything this week? I'm building muscle now. Again, this is such an unhealthy relationship with like training and exercise. Let me have a look. I'm having a scan down. I'm sure there must be another bit to that question, but I can't find it. Anyway, use MyFitnessPal and only having 1,400 calories a day. Going to the gym 6 times a week, only lost 8 pounds in 5 weeks. So, first of all, Charlie, 8 pounds in 5 weeks is fantastic weight loss. That's great. A pound a week on average is good. So, 5 pounds in 5 weeks is good. Losing nearly double that is fine. Is really, really good. You go to the gym 6 times a week. That's not really having much of an impact on your weight loss. We go to the gym to get fitter and healthier, not to lose weight. So we can scrap that, right? You're only eating 1,400 calories a day. I'd say you're probably not. You're eating more than that, because why are you eating such low amounts of calories? I don't know what you weigh. And I think you've put in another comment. Is it normal not to? Yeah, it is normal not to lose in a week. We get lots of different fluctuations. You've put your building muscle now. You're not building muscle at eating 1,400 calories, or you won't be building a lot of muscle eating. Not that eating 1,400 calories a day, but I don't know how much protein you're getting in for your 1,400 calories. But building muscle will never counterbalance fat loss on the scales if you're overweight. Building muscle will rarely counterbalance. Like, you struggle to build, even at the start of your journey in the gym, even if your training's amazing, as a female, you'll struggle to build a pound of muscle in a month. In a month, you'll struggle to do that. More like half a pound, right? So, most people can comfortably lose 4 to 6 pounds of body fat in a month. So if you're only going to build half a pound of muscle, but you can lose 4 to 6 pounds of body fat, then, building muscle does not counterbalance fat loss on the scales. And if someone's telling you it does, they are lying to you, or they just don't. And they might not be personally lying to you. There's lots of people, unfortunately, that work in gyms, fitness trainers, personal trainers, that haven't got a clue what they're talking about. They don't know. They honestly don't know. And I'll tell you why personal trainers don't know. You can go and do a personal training course online and get your level 3 personal training qualification, which I have right here. Right? Level 3 personal training qualification, right? They teach you F all. They teach you absolute basics of nutrition, basics of, they don't even teach you how weight loss works, right? They teach you the basics of how to lift weights. It is really basic, right? You don't, and some people will just go and get that qualification and then go and walk into a gym and go, right, let's teach other people how to lift weights. And they know nothing. And they might have done training themselves before going and getting their qualification, but they know nothing. I know way more personal trainers that haven't got a clue about weight loss, nutrition, and actual training properly than actually do know about it. But it's just a saturated market because it's so easy to get the qualification. Scary talking about the first challenge of the year. By the time it's done, we will be in summer. Anna, I know. It just, honestly, I do 2 challenges a year for my community, my one-to-one planners. and they're 3 months long. So 50% of the year, you can be on a challenge if you want. 50% just standard plan. But yeah, it is scary because when we start, the time absolutely flies by when the challenge starts. So literally, you're going to start the challenge in 2 weeks, and when it ends, it'll be June, right? And then the next challenge starts beginning to the middle of September, and when the challenge ends, it's Christmas. Like honestly, it does. Yeah, the time absolutely flies by. It really, really does. Right, let me scan down on TikTok. I'm 13 stone. All right. So if you're 13 stone, right, why are you only eating 1,400 calories a day? That's a ridiculously low amount of calories to eat for someone that's 13 stone. Like, yes, you need to be in a calorie deficit, but I mean, I don't think you're eating I don't know what your daily steps are, but you're not eating 1,400 calories. If you've lost 8 pounds in 5 weeks, right, you will have had a little whoosh at the start of your journey. So that would suggest you are in a 3,500 calorie deficit a week. I'm just guesstimating there, but I'm pretty good at that because of my experience. And that would suggest that your maintenance is 1,900 calories a day. If you're training in the gym 6 days a week, even though it doesn't burn as many calories as we think, right? And you're doing 7,000 steps a day on average, for instance, and you're 13 stone, your maintenance isn't. So you're not eating 1,400 calories a day, right? That's what you might think you are, but you're not. Right, so that's something we need to that needs addressing, and then you just need to work on your relationship with weight loss. You just need to understand. I don't know if you're working with a personal trainer or if you've just got your calories from MyFitnessPal. I have no idea, but yeah, you're definitely not eating 1,400 calories a day. But 8 pounds in 5 weeks is great. Just think about it logically, right? This lady here. Charlie is 13 stone and she's disappointed. I've only lost 8 pounds in 5 weeks. If that was fat loss, that is an average of like over a pound a week, right? If Charlie lost 5 pounds in 5 weeks, that is a pound a week. If Charlie did that from now until this time next year, she'd be 9 stone. She'd be 9 stone. And if I said to Charlie, I can put you on a weight loss plan, and this time next year you'll be 9 stone. She'd snap my hand off. She'd be like, I'd love to be 9 stone this time next year. Right. So if that's the case, and you're losing weight quicker than that, why are you unhappy with it? You know? So it's just, again, it's just about creating healthy relationships with weight loss. Anyone that's struggling, it's dead easy. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Click on my link tree. Click on shop, click on monthly one-to-one plan, click sign up. I give you healthy amounts of calories. I teach you how to have a healthy relationship with weight loss, fat loss, while enjoying life still, right? No temper tantrums. You might have the odd one of those, but I'll sort them out for you. You can message me whenever you want. You check in with me on a regular basis. I don't have a client my lightest client at the moment is 10 stone. And in fact, actually, I'm lying there. My lightest client at the moment is 9 stone, 2 pounds, and they're eating 2,600 calories a day at the moment, but they're maintaining. All right. So my lightest client is 9 stone, 2 pounds. Listen to that. My lightest client is 9 stone, 2 pounds, eating 2,600 calories a day, maintaining. Right. Yeah. And they're maintaining. In fact, they actually lost this week, this check-in, right? But there was different circumstances behind that, which I'm not going to go into, right? So I think that's my lightest client. If I've got a client lighter than 9 stone 2, pipe up. I don't think I have from memory, right? But on average, the lowest calories I've got a one-to-one client on at the moment is 17,050. Right? Sorry, not 17,050, 1,750. I'm 7 stone 6. You flip, maybe in your bottom half, Anis. I don't know how much you weigh actually in stones. Bottom half. I think you are under 4. Are you 14 stone? I don't know. Let me. I work so much in pounds. I never understand stones. Oh, bang on. Yeah, Anis. I was right with bottom half. Maybe bottom half. Maybe times 2. You're not a million. You're not a million miles away. But you're not a million miles away from maintenance now either, Anis. which is really, really good. Right, let me scan down. So yeah, if you're sat there now, unhappy with your weight loss, questioning everything, not getting the answers, because Charlie, if she was on plan with me, she'd have either checked in with me and gone, oh, I didn't lose this week, and she'd get feedback from me, and I'd tell her exactly why. Or if she is jumping on the scales in between check-ins and she's having a bit of a panic, she could just WhatsApp me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to get a bit of clarity and a bit of reassurance, right? Surely that's worth $29.99 a month. Surely that's worth it, just to be able to have someone to constantly lean on if it's needed when this thing starts pissing you off, right? And that's what it is. So sign up to my one-to-one plan is $29.99. I'll get you started on Monday. So you'll start on the 23rd of February, and then you'll pay $29.99 last day of each month for a minimum 3 months. You can work with me for 10 years if you want to, but I ask for a minimum 3 months commitment. So $29.99 sign up, that covers your plan, your ebook, gets you into the community, gets everything sorted out. And it's a $29.99 a month subscription, £7.50 a week, just over £1 a day. To pay just over £1 a day to be able to directly message me whenever you want to, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just for a bit of reassurance, or if you're struggling, surely that's worth a quid. Surely that's worth a quid. Come on, get on board, get signed up. I'm here, I'm waiting to work with you. Highly recommend the Real Loss Boss. 6 stone down, keeps me accountable, the cheapest investment. Anis, thank you very much. So when you say 1,530 calories is too low, no adult should be eating less than 1,600 calories a day, right? And if you have to, and that's for weight loss, and that's an adult that's sedentary, right? If you're not sedentary and you're overweight, why are you eating such few calories, right? I don't really exercise a lot or many steps. We'll change that. Why? Right? That's first thing. Why? Right? Everyone wants to lose weight, but no one wants to put the effort in that needs to be done, right? So you're starving yourself. So you're unhappy starving yourself, where you could just go for a couple of walks a day and then you wouldn't need to starve yourself. Why? What's your mentality behind not doing it? That's what we have to ask ourselves. We can make life so much easier on ourselves, but we don't want to. Why? And like, I don't ask any of my clients to do marathons. I don't ask them to do anything. I give them a step progression plan just to get them moving more on a day-to-day basis. Now, exercise doesn't matter. I don't put a lot of emphasis. I get clients that come to me, I'm exercising 5 days a week. I don't put a lot of emphasis into exercise when I do calories. It's steps and weight and height and age, right? That, it is what I do. Now, don't get me wrong, if clients do exercise, I give them a little bit I give the calories a little tweak. They get a little bit, but nothing major. Nothing major. The exercise is just a bonus, right? But we have to ask ourselves, would you say 1530 is too low? I don't really exercise a lot or many steps. They're not exercising a lot. I get that. Everyone should exercise, but I get why a lot of people don't. Steps is no excuse. Obviously, if you have a disability, you have mobility issues, things like that, there are certain, but for the majority of people, why we don't have a decent step count is laziness. That's it. We have to be honest with ourselves. We can't be arsed. Well, let's change that mentality, because a lot of us have a weight issue because of laziness. And I was saying before, I didn't finish my point about people saying we should eat the way we did this, that, and the other. One of the biggest changes we've done since the 60s, when weight wasn't an issue in the UK, right? It wasn't an issue in the UK 60s. Of course, there were overweight people. Of course, there were obese people in the 60s, but it wasn't a society issue. One of the biggest changes we've made over the last 60, 70 years, we don't move anymore. We don't move anymore. Now, that is down to our fault a little bit, and it's also down to technology and changes in the way things work. Everyone, households now have three. I walk around our village walking the dog, and households, because kids live longer, live at home. Kids live longer. We all live longer, but kids stay at home longer now because of house prices, especially around where I live. It's quite expensive. I was very lucky to get on the housing market when I did, but nowadays houses are ridiculously expensive, right? And like certain households have 4 or 5 cars. In the 60s, not many households had 1 car, right? We moved a lot more, We didn't sit in front of the telly for hours and hours and hours on end. We moved a lot more. So therefore, naturally, over time, our calorie burn has dropped hugely. You know, I always say this, I'd love to go back to the 60s and stick a pedometer on a random 100 people. Just walk around and just bang, 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 just random 100 people, right? And I guarantee they naturally are smashing 10,000 steps a day. Naturally, just 10 is a walk in the park, literally, you know. Julia, one of my clients there, she's walking up to the next village to go and get her nails done. And it's literally 20-minute, 25-minute walk there and back, right? And that'll get the majority of her steps in for today, right? 60 years ago, if you lived around here and you went to one of the couple of schools, right, you'd have done that walk just naturally to school and back as a kid. You know, there'd have been quite a lot of adults that might have lived in this, that worked in the next village. They'd have walked there and back, right? A lot jobs were a lot more manual 100 years ago, a lot less robots and stuff in factories. So people just naturally had a much higher level of movement. We don't have that anymore. So we have to try and work and put it into place, right? But really, we're not asking you to do anything that's out of the ordinary. It's amazing how being a weight loss coach and so much has happened over the last 8 years since I qualified as a personal trainer and I started working with people. And, you know, I used to get when I pre-COVID, I get this excuse all the time, and it is just an excuse, right? Well, I work in an office, so I've got to drive to work and back, right? So that's like an hour of my day, and then I'm sat down at my desk all day, right? Okay. Those same people now are giving me the excuse, well, I work from home, right? So what do you do with your hour commute time? You are? Well, 5 years, like 6 years ago, pre-COVID, you used to drive half an hour to work and half an hour back from work, right? Now you work 10 yards from where you sleep. So what are you doing with that hour? That you used to find time for that hour because you had to drive to work and back. Now you don't. You only go to the office 1 day a week, right? The other 4 days a week. So what you do with that hour? Well, I have an extra half hour in bed. Well, I have an extra half hour on the sofa. And well, there you go. So why don't we use that hour commute time that you used to use so you used to leave the house at 8:15 and get to work for 8:45. Now you get your ass out of bed at 8:45 to get to your desk for 9. Well, why don't we still get our ass out of bed at 8, right? And then that half hour commute time that you used to have to use, why don't we go for a walk for half an hour? By the time you get to your desk at 9 o'clock, you've already done 4,000 steps, right? And then your half hour lunchtime, it's winter, it's rubbish at night time. We get that. So then lunchtime, right? Let's do another half hour walk. And now you're at 8,000 steps, right? And it's 1 o'clock, right? And then just your other pottering about, you're at 10K. And that's your working day. What about days off, right? On days off, let's that half hour in the morning. Why don't we do 45 minutes, right? And then why don't we do 45 minutes in the afternoon? And on days off, instead of doing 10,000 steps, now you're doing 14,000 steps. Right? And you're actually averaging 11,000 steps a day, not 10. Right? It's how you choose to use your time. But like I say, I see all the excuses. I get them all. I get them chucked at me left, right, and center. And that's all they are a lot of the time. They are just poor excuses, right? And it's amazing. Like, I can't get my steps in because I have to drive to work. I can't get my steps in because now I work from home. What is it? What? You basically just can't be able to get my steps in. And I'm just trying to find any relatable excuse I can, right? Because I get it all. I get it all left, right, and center, you know? And don't get me wrong, some days you'll wake up and you won't want to go and get your steps in. Those are the best days because when you go and do it, you feel amazing, right? Some days you'll be absolutely motivated and you'll get a few more steps in. They're great days as well because you do a little bit extra and you feel proud of yourself, you know? When was the last time you ever felt proud of yourself? When was the last time you ever gave yourself a pat on the back and said, you're doing great? Right? Not many people do that. Right? And we need to start doing that. We need to start being kinder to ourselves. We need to start being more positive to ourselves. Right? We're so hard on ourselves all the time. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Oh, you don't look good in those clothes. Oh, you don't this. Why, you know, but if you want to be proud of yourself, you've got to do things to make yourself proud of yourself. And you should be proud of yourself. You should be able to have the mentality to give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah. We always chase things as well. Oh, I've lost a pound. I could have done more. You're doing great, right? Sometimes you just need someone to tell you you're doing great. you know, just to build your confidence up a little bit. But you can tell yourself you're doing great. You really, really can. Right, guys, that's me. I'm out of here. It's been a pleasure. As always, if you are on plan or in the community, I'm back in an hour and we're doing a weight loss coaching live, and I'm talking about how we can't let short-term routine changes affect our weight loss. All right. That is today's weight loss coaching live. If you want to watch that weight loss coaching live, you need to come join the community or sign up to the one-to-one plan. You can do either by clicking on my link tree. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. My link tree is everywhere. Click on it. You want to send over an inquiry form? Send over an inquiry form. I can send you all the details. You're probably not going to get into put it into the community before the live. But all the lives that I do for the community are saved to YouTube, and you can watch them back whenever you want to. If you only follow me on social media, you're not part of my community. This is the week where I'm not about now till Thursday. So tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. is this week's everything weight loss session, which means there's no social media lives tomorrow at all. So one Wednesday in 3, there's no social media lives. So if you only follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, I will be back 8:30 a.m. Thursday, right? And then I'll also be back 7:30 p.m. Thursday. So I'm doing 2 lives now because Thursday morning, Thursday night. And this week, if you are in the community one-to-one plan, we've got another weight loss coaching live, 4 p.m. on Thursday. I will also have a live this week on Saturday morning. I'll be in the car, but that is just on Tiki Talks. Right, I'm going to go smash the yogurt bowl in, get some work done. TikTok, I'll sign up to you first. Have a great day. If you only follow me on TikTok, I will be back 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning. And Facebook, YouTube. Again, if you only follow me Facebook, YouTube, I'll be back Thursday morning. Everyone else, I'll be back in an hour.